What is up? This is Castronaut, and this is my first album review. So for my first album review, I'm going to be reviewing Doris by up-and-coming rapper from Los Angeles, Earl Sweatshirt. Now, I think everyone's been waiting for this album. I mean, it was huge about how when he came back from Samoa in 2012, finally got to play the show in March. So it was a huge build-up, and then he put out Home, and I'm back, So he had this whole hype behind him. I listened to the album, I think 5 times non-stop since I got it yesterday. I've taken to it, and the beats are good. The rhymes are solid. My favorite tracks, Burgundy, Centurion, Guild. Just ones that didn't really, Burgundy was a single. Burgundy was a single, but Centurion and Guild, they weren't. They were very much just tracks that were put on the album. And yes, Earl Sweatshirt has a lot of features on this album. It doesn't do a lot of the production himself completely, although he does do a lot of production, but there are songs on there that he didn't produce. Like Burgundy was produced by the Neptunes, which is Pharrell. So it's easy to understand that he did not do this by himself. This is a big thing. You think, let's get this poppin' and have everything go together. Content, I feel, was at the level that we know Earl Sweatshirt to be at, but it also was just a little bit less. I like the album. I've been a fan of Earl Sweatshirt for years, since I heard Earl, of course, since I heard Blade, since I heard Orange Juice. I've been a fan of Earl Sweatshirt, so it's not like I'm, one of those people who expects to drop off. No, I'm very much the opposite. Chum came out, and I listened to that song for 3 weeks, just that song. So it's not like I was battling to try to stay one of his fans. I really do like the album. He's mature. Earl Sweatshirt has matured, just not in the way I think he planned to. I think he pulled down some of the really obvious things that he would say. Like there's no track on the album. Like EPAR, which was really blatant and obvious, rape backwards. That was real obvious what that was about. Couch, those songs, those from Earl, those were very blatant. Those were really blatant, obvious with what was being said. So there was no confusion. Doris has a lot of subtle things that are there, but you have to think about it. You can't just go, oh, that's nice. You have to, after time, to and see everything. So Doris really is a lot better. That he matured, and he will lose fans who really want that clear, easy, they don't have to think too hard, hitter, hard smasher that doesn't take any brain power to control. I also like how in Burgundy he comes straight out and says it. He apologizes to his grandmother because she's going through some hard times. She's sick, I believe. And she's, everyone's coming to see her because she might be dying just like Tyler's grandmother. But Tyler, we all know Tyler does not know how to completely deal with his emotions. And so Earl is doing the exact same thing. He's just apologizing in advance because he knows he can't do it afterwards. Because no matter what, because of the way you are, you can't change the way people think about you as they die, Like, I could imagine his grandmother dying, saying, "Tepe, why didn't you come see me?" Things like that. And he's very much apologetic in his rhymes now. He talks about how he can't write a song staggered. He can't sit and start a song one day and then finish it another. He has to do the whole thing all the way through. So that's the way I write when I write songs and raps and things like that. So I understand, because you break up the flow, you can't concentrate on the same thing anymore. And even though it could be good, it just screws everything up. Production-wise, great album. I can't get past the fact that Earl became an awesome producer when we heard none of this beforehand. All of Earl was taken care of by Tyler and Left Brain, and Doris is dude who is Earl Sweatshirt. So he came off to be this really heavy, mythical producer who could do things and just make you stop. Like, if you just had instrumentals, this album would still be amazing. Complete score of the whole album, I'm gonna give it a strong 7. Not the best thing. It beats out Detox, that's for sure, which is good and bad at the same time. And it beats out, for me, other albums from... This was great. And Carter Holy Grail. Yeezus was great, but Magna Carta Holy Grail, get Magna Carta out of here, because it doesn't deserve to be reviewed at all. But Yeezus was amazing to me. I love the production that Kanye West can do. I just like Earl's better in the mythical form, because it's not this experimental rap that's trying to push into the mainstream. Where for Earl, it's very simple. It's very much just, let's just get this done and do what we have to do, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it to the point where everything's how I want it to be. So I give this album a strong 7. Doris gets a 7 from me. And I give Earl props. To Bay, you get props from me, bro. Stay pimpin'.